Hello, everyone. My name is Heather Fulmer, and I will be presenting today on jobs for the homebody. So, if you are like me, I love to be at home. I like my job, but I love being at home, and it's just easier. I have two wonderful kids, 12 and 8 years old, and getting out and going places is a chore in itself. So, if I can make money from home, great. So I have been teaching for 13 years. I teach at Washita High School right now. I've taught in Arkadelphia for 6 years in mathematics and actually started in Hope teaching family consumer science at Yerger Middle School for 8th grade. I was young, I was inexperienced, and didn't know where the future was going to take me, but here I am. So, we will start today by thinking about something that you love to do, something that you're good at, something that you're passionate about, and just keep that in the back of your mind. So, I am wearing these goofy headphones. Yes, but there's a reason. So, I'm going to unplug them and let you listen to what it sounds like without the headset on. So, if you want to take your volume down a little bit. For the moment, I'm going to unplug it in three, two, one. It sounds like without the headset on. It's a little more echoey. I'm downstairs in my basement. It has concrete floor and not much furniture is down here except my silhouette cutting machine, my other computer, a ton of wrapping paper material, a tumbler maker, and some lights and a background. So, oh, and a closet full of sewing machines and junk. But other than that, that's it. So I'm going to plug myself back up. Hold on. It is blinking at me. It's saying back online with the USB. So this is why I use the headset. I do use it for teaching because I am certified as an ESL teacher, which was free. I will show you how to go and do that. And so in the mornings, I teach Chinese students online, and you make your own schedule. And so we're going to quickly jump into this whole thing and kind of dive into it. So with that little thing in the back of your mind that I told you to keep there, keep that there. Don't forget it. I'm going to share my screen. All right. While I am sharing my screen, I will kind of tell you some other things that I have done. I have had my t-shirt business. I have worked at the horse stables at Lake DeGray. That was last summer. It was hot. Had to find a sitter for my kids. And by the time you spend money on a sitter, which most of the time was my husband or my in-laws, which are amazing, and lunch and all the stuff, you really don't make that much money. So this workshop, I hope helps you at least is in the fact that you're getting, something out of it and something that's going to make you a little bit of money and be helpful to you. So let's get started. Okay, so jobs for the homebody. Let me present this. Here we go. All right, like I said, I'm Heather Fulmer, and I have worked at Washita High School for I think 7-ish years now. FCCLA sponsor, senior sponsor, and math with the capital MA. Enrichment teacher. Still kind of help out with that a little bit on just certain days of the week and stuff. Okay, so reasons to work from home. For teachers, I asked a few people, and this is what they said. So, number one, I'm a homebody. That's me. I'm a homebody. I love to be at home. I don't mind getting dressed up and having to wear heels and makeup and fix my hair and everything like that. But if I could stay home, that's even better. I have kids. That was a big one. A lot of us have, children, younger kids, older kids. It really doesn't matter because you have to find, either a sitter. You have to make sure they get fed. You have to make sure they're okay. You worry a lot. It's just easier to stay home. So if I can stay home, I prefer to stay home. And that was kind of what the other one said too, especially with the younger kids. I dislike people. That was actually an answer. There are some days I think we all can relate that we don't necessarily, we just don't like people that much. There's just some days you want to be alone or you just want it quiet. You don't want to be around large groups of people. You don't want to deal with people. I worked, and I still do a little bit at the shop. My husband's a mechanic, and so I do go out there and help, but I prefer not to be in a dirty, greasy shop. I don't know what I'm talking about when customers come up and they're like, "Well, how much is this part? How much is it?" And so you have to learn things, and I honestly can say I have never had an interest in cars. I want my air conditioner to work and I want it to go forward and backwards and get me to point A, point B. And other than that, I don't really care. So By the way, I have very informal workshops if you haven't noticed. So that's me. But I do help when he needs me to help. Absolutely needs me to help. I'm probably not that much help anyway. But I just don't. I don't like that type of thing. And I've learned in. I'm 35 now, so as long as I've been working 12, 13, 14, I started babysitting. Be happy with what you're doing. It makes the job a lot easier. It's better and you feel better. So cars, dirty mechanic shops, not my thing. Um, Never has been, and I can confidently say it probably never will be. So I do. I don't necessarily dislike people, but I don't like to deal with that, and I don't like to deal with people because they want certain things, and I don't know what I'm doing. And so I want my own schedule. That was another answer. Making your own schedule is great. You can plan vacations. You can plan. We have family reunions during the summer. A lot of people do. You might have just you just might want days off, or we just got done with the yard sale. So things that you can work around as far as a job makes life a lot easier. Doctor's appointments with kids, and of course, you never know when you're going to get sick. You don't know when the kids are going to get sick, but um, working around a schedule, at least when you know something's coming up, you can kind of plan around that event. Makes it a lot easier. Mamas especially, I always have my kids, it seems like, just because it's dangerous for them to go with my husband, their father, to the shop. Um, so they're with me a lot, and I don't mind, it's fine. But um, I can plan a lot easier. And the last one, it is just easier. And it is working from home. You're already here, wake up, all your stuff is here. You don't have to tote things to and from, and everything you can prepare easier. You can prepare the night before because you're already here. If you're like me, I have snacks. I have, everything that I need here. I can throw in laundry, run downstairs, teach some stuff, get stuff done here, run on my break upstairs, 5, 10 minutes, get the laundry switched over to the from the washer to the dryer, come back downstairs, finish up. It's so easy. I can throw in a load of dishes and get the dishes done. I usually don't bake or cook as much other than like crock pot, but things that require more attention because I want to make sure that, I don't burn the house down. So it is easier. All this rain at the I guess, 1st of June, we had a lot of water damage and stuff. So, like, now we have people ripping out the living room and the drywall and the fireplace and all this stuff. So it is easier, noisy, but easier as far as just being at home. And so I hope this kind of helps. And there's many reasons that, it's convenient to work at home. These are just a few, the few of the top ones that people kind of said repeatedly over and over, like, this is why. So, okay, I started out with number one. Here are the top few jobs that I kind of have come across, and the reason I wanted to share this: teacher pay teacher. Everybody probably knows what teacher pay teacher is. So I kind of wanted to get it out of the way first and just kind of get it taken care of. So find your specialty, do what you love, and sell it. Just make sure you're not, going across copyright lines and laws and everything. But teacher pay teacher is a great resource, and there's teachers out there that make a decent living at this, especially the ones closer to retirement or maybe that have retired. They are very helpful, and when you need something, most of the time you can find it on Teacher Pay Teacher. It's something that should be on your little tab marker if you don't already have it, or at least it's kind of filed in the back of your mind as a resource. New teachers especially, teacher pay teacher is amazing. I wish I would have had that when I started teaching 13 whatever years ago. I recently came across it, and I know people use it a lot. I don't, I guess, use it as much just because I feel comfortable in what I'm doing this far along in it, and anything that I need, I will download some of the free tools, or at least get ideas and things like that if I don't have the resource for it. Virtual school this year has definitely been a challenge. And I did come across a few teachers that use Teacher Pay Teacher, and the idea was there, but the way it was set up on Google Forms, the original owner, the person who made the Google form or made the test and all these worksheets and stuff had the rights to it, but it would not share properly. So every time she put it out there, the teacher at Washita would put it out there, the students would submit their answers. It went to the original owner, so that was kind of a little confusing because the teacher at Washita was like, I'm not getting these answers back. The students are submitting their tests, they're submitting their work, and I don't see it. So I think there was a little, a few bugs to work out as far as the prep part of it again. But this whole year, with COVID has been a learning curve. I mean, this is just it's new for us, and nobody's going to have it down perfect. And hopefully, it'll be back to normal. We're going to talk a little bit about that later too, as far as like the gaps and what you can do as far as working from homes to fill in those gaps if you have access to just internet. So that's going to be our basic thing today is, do you have internet access at home? And are you willing to get internet access if you don't have it? Which, if you're watching this and it's pre recorded, then probably you do. Some of these things can be done on your phone. Some of these things probably would be easier to do on a computer, and some actually require a computer and or wired internet, Ethernet. Wi-Fi does work, and we'll talk about that too a little bit later. Okay, so that's Teacher Pay Teacher. We'll get that one out of the way. So this is OutSchool. I'm really excited to share this one if you don't know what OutSchool is. And I'm going to switch us to the OutSchool page here momentarily. OutSchool is not necessarily for educators only. OutSchool is a platform that any professional can use. These are my words. Any professional can use to teach or expand upon what they know, their background, their wisdom, their knowledge, their years of experience, and have an audience of students any age, does not have to be school age, and they meet on Zoom. So that's what we're doing now. This is recorded on Zoom, which with virtual, we should be very familiar with Zoom. And some people are totally over Zoom. I was one of them at the beginning. I'm okay with it now because I don't have to use it every day. So it's great. But OutSchool is kind of cool. I have taught on OutSchool before. The platform is you sign up through OutSchool, and I came in as an educator and I wanted to teach XYZ class. For instance, my class that I wanted to teach was I had one on filling out job applications and resumes, how to get noticed. And so I could set my class size to 1 student, 6 students, 15 students if I wanted to. My class size that I felt comfortable with was 6 or less. So sometimes you need group work. That is up to you. You set all your limits. You tell them what you want to do. You tell them how you're going to run it. You tell them everything. And so people can sign up for it and they know what they're getting when they come in. So for $10, let's see, I taught 30 minutes, $10 per student, maximum of 6 students. We went over job skills, resume writing, and how to fill out an application. And I had students from the age of 12 to 17. That was my focus area. That's me. You can set it however you want to. So when I ask you to pull something that you're good at, that you enjoy, that you like to do, take that out now. That could be a great OutSchool lesson. So my mom is worked 17 years in juvenile probation. She is now a foster care trainer and has worked 30 plus years with children, and children especially that are in either the foster care system, DHS, custody, or kids at risk. And so she would be great for OutSchool as either a trainer. She would be great to work through OutSchool, I guess through OutSchool as a person, even with students, at-risk students, to help. I have to hook this on here so it doesn't keep falling. To help guide them, and maybe as a mentor, she could set her cost per class to 99 cents if she wants to keep it cheap and just wants to be a mentor and help kids, or she could do trainings and she could charge $100 an hour. She sets it. So whatever you have that niche for, whatever you're good at, you're passionate about, and that you know a lot about, or you have a good solid background, that is what OutSchool's for. There is everything from how to, like, cheer 101. I actually have a class coming up. I was a cheer coach off and on together over a decade. Right at, oh gosh, I mean, 11 years, 12 years. And it's just the fundamentals of cheer. We don't have to do tumbling. We don't have to do, again, it's over Zoom. So if I can watch one-on-one, and you can charge whatever you want to charge, $20 an hour, $60 an hour. I'm going to work one-on-one with a cheerleader. Maybe it's before cheer tryouts. And we're going to come on. I want to see them in the description. I would put that I want to see them, a full body view, and I will be coaching them virtually, which exactly what that is. And I want to see them. I want to see their feet. I want to see their hands. I want to see their motions. I want to see how sharp they are. I want to see, everything, so I can give them pointers back. It's very important that you're very clear with what you want to do. So with OutSchool, it says, and this is on their website, it says they recommend payments and pricing between 10 and 15 per learner for each hour spent in class. Still, you make your own. If it's something very specific and detailed and precise that you are teaching and you want to get across, and people could go to a one-on-one class or tutoring or whatever, and they charge $150 per hour, and you want to charge, do your research, $80 an hour, then you're cheaper, but still it's virtual and you're making decent, and you might have five kids per class, whatever you want. Scheduling, it automatically helps you schedule. There's videos on this. It tells you how to set it up, what they're looking for. The great thing with OutSchool, and this is what I really like, I get updates and it's like, hey, here are the top 20 things that people are looking for, as a majority of people on their website, what they're looking for. My son did a Minecraft web quest scavenger hunt. It was $10 for a class. I think it was a 25 to 30-minute class, and it was Minecraft based, and it was this really fun, it was kind of like a web quest, and it was a scavenger hunt online, but it was still learning, and he had a lot of fun, and it was a game. They had it set up like a game. So they would go to these websites, and they come back, and they would, turn in their stuff and go get the next clue and go find it and then come in. And it was just this very interactive, hands-on, but it was fun. He really enjoyed it. So that was pretty cool. So there's so many ideas. Pinterest, all that. That's not even on here. Pinterest is not on here. But Pinterest, all that. Google, all that, because it's out there. They do make sure that with using Zoom, that safety is number one priority. It says they don't allow learners to share personal private information. Remember to check, everything. And they do. They go through all this and they make sure that it's safe and it's secure. And as far as the teacher and the student, that everybody is A-okay. So it's pretty cool. So talking about that, they do use Zoom as the feature for teachers. Take advantage of Zoom's built-in tools. It helps the class run smoothly. You can share your screen if you need to. You kind of be creative with it. List your first class, so they will help you create your listings. They will help you get your first one out there. They will help you promote it. They will help you set it up, your pricing. They will help you get it out there, how to, you can do a one-time class. The great thing with OutSchool is you can make it a continuous class. So if you're doing algebra, you can literally start with the very basics and build your way up and say, I'm going to teach 6 classes, a total of 6 hours, or however many you want to, however long you want to. and cake decorating, whatever. And you build upon it so you can actually schedule out in advance, 6 classes, 10 classes, or a continue. Maybe it's once a month, maybe it's twice a month, maybe it's every other weekend. However you want to do it, you really have the freedom to do whatever you want as far as time and what you teach and stuff. So tutoring is a really big thing. So here is some notes that I made. It says, and this is in Connecticut, Maryland, DC, well, all up in that region. They did a survey, and I can't remember the website. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but they surveyed parents, and it said 75% of parents think that their kids are falling behind grade level since being out with COVID and stuff. And so, just working with this company, just working with a student one at a time for a month, they gained 2.5 times the amount of knowledge they would in a month working with a tutor one-on-one. And so that was not out school. I can't remember where I got that information from. I can't think of it right now, but just working with a tutor, they jumped 2.5 times as far as the amount of knowledge they gained. Working with a tutor, it did not say what, I want to say it was algebra. That's why I said algebra earlier, but I can't, it was math something. It was math, but that was one-on-one. So OutSchool is one of those tutoring platforms that you can use. That's why I said that. And right now, parents are really looking for people to fill in those gaps. So if you're good at those tested areas, science, reading, math, writing, whatever, English, all the way, whatever is tested, and you can fill those gaps in, this is your time to shine. You have worksheets. You can send them worksheets. They can fill it out. They can have it there. You can mail it to them, usually email, because you can, I know on some of them, the applications and stuff, I posted a practice application that I had made. And so if they wanted to, they could print that and follow along with me. They didn't have to, but that was my class. That's the way that I did it. You can require it if you want to. So think about some of the things that you use, maybe worksheets that you already have. And that's an easy class. You already teach it. It's already there. Just go teach it again and keep using those materials so you could work, in whatever time zone you're in and get this done and have, extra cash money on the side. It's great. It's really great. Okay, so here's some of the things without school. So with the tutoring anyway, the cost of it, setting a price, and they will help you though. They will help you where it's not too high, it's not too low. You're getting a fair price, but also make sure that you don't get emotional, physical, mental burnout because it has been a long, long, long year. And of course, your time and reliability, and that is more actually on the other end, the student and parent end, because I have had a lot of parents, students sign up, not show up. And I get a little frustrated because with some of these other ones, I still get paid for it, but it's really irritating when you want to do group work and you have an odd number of people and you can't do it. So that's really frustrating. But like I said, usually uh, the company will go ahead and pay. And OutSchool, I have not checked the updates and stuff to their contracts, but the next one, VIPkid, which is what I do currently, I still within 24 hours I still get paid. So let's talk about VIPkid. Okay, this is what I do. This is what this background is. If you're wondering why it says Teacher Heather, that's me. But why there's a little boy and girl in the background, and I teach 8th through 12th grade family consumer science and some clouds. And I have, where am I at? Snowflakes. I do VIPkid. So we, for copyright purposes, are going to call it MVP Kids on my example, but it's going to work very similar to it. Maybe even the same colors and the same pictures and the same background as what I have now. But okay, so you do set your own schedule. The thing with this is there's VIPkid and there's GOGO Kid, and both are English learner platforms, and they're both in China. So they are 13, depending on time zone, daylight saving time. They're 13, 14 hours ahead of us. So take our time now. Right now I'm recording at 6:15. It is 7:15 a.m. 6:15 p.m. for me. So 7:15 a.m. for them in the morning. They're just waking up. They're fixing to go to school. I am on a Monday, and I am still in Sunday at 6:15 p.m. the day before. So I technically could teach from 7 p.m. Think about my time. 7 p.m. to 7 a.m., 8 a.m., depending on the weekends. They do let them teach or learn a little or study a little bit later. So we're a little behind, almost 12 hours different. So it's easy to kind of calculate. You do set your own schedule, but it is kind of working the night shift. If you are up for that, great. I don't with kids. I don't want to teach the night shift. I could, and I would probably make a lot better money than I would teaching here at the brick and mortar school. But I got babies, so my babies need their mama. What I do actually do is I set my schedule depending on how spunky or not that I feel between 4 and 6:30 a.m. Usually 5 and 6:30. That's my I'm okay time. And I can function still without being like slobbering, and like drooling and one eye half closed and still looking like a human anyway. But I got started on this in November, got COVID in December. That was rough trying to teach through that because it was horrible. I felt awful. The whole family had it. It was miserable. I wrote the company and I was like, hey, I can't do this. I have got to sleep because Heather, being Heather, thought I could teach during Christmas break and I'm going to bank and make some money. I was ready to go out the door. And then boom, COVID, done. I was just ready to like curl up and just die. But I seriously felt like there was a few times that it was horrible. But they were super understanding and really nice, and they were like, okay, I can miss 6 classes without having my contract reviewed. So I got on here actually because of another family consumer science teacher on Facebook. And she gave me her code, which, yes, it's not necessarily like a pyramid scheme. I referred her. She got $100. So, like any referrals from me, which I'm not going to do that today because that's not why I'm here. But if you are interested and you do want to learn more about it, I'm on Facebook. So you can just Heather Fulmer, probably me and my kids or something like that on my profile picture. And I'll tell you more about it. But you set your own hours. It is 1-to-1. I did have to work up to uh, a group teach, which I like more one-on-one because I can listen, I can work on their pronouncing, their words with them. And the little ones, I teach. My first one was a 4-year-old baby, and she looked like she was about 2. And I didn't know what I was going to do. And I'm used to high school kids. And they went back and did my certifications. I had to send in my degrees. I had to send in my bachelor's and master's degree. I had to send in my certifications and my license. And they paid for my ESL certification. So it was no cost to me up front. I went to the Dollar Tree, bought some of this stuff, printed off some. I will show you some little rewards that I use magnetic. I put little magnetic strips. Here's my mermaids, which I can use colors with and stuff when I teach. And they just pop up there on the back. This is actually the rock I used this morning for my mermaids to sit on. And I have cupcakes and I have candy and I have ice cream. But when you go through it, they give you tutorial videos. You work one-on-one with a teacher who pretends to be a student. So you do mock interviews, like mock lessons and stuff. And it took me, I think, 5 lessons before they were like, okay, you're good to go. We're going to pass you on to the next level. Because again, I felt stupid. I felt so dumb. And I'm like, this is blue and pink, blue, pink. And you have to listen and they will go blue, pink back at you. And you're like, why am I doing this? But it's to prepare you and it's actually to help you. So it was really a good thing. I have a ton of these things, which is when I do have people use my code and stuff, I give them I wish I could just take my computer and dump it over and show you all the stuff. But all my stuff I share I went to the Dollar Tree and I was able, like, I got these little flashcards, A for alligator, and we go over the alphabet and stuff. There's parent expectations on some of the lessons. They get stars. They have built-in rewards. It's all interactive, and it says, "Oh, you get paid." So roughly, there's around 100,000 teachers, 800,000 students, and over 5 million classes in a month. There, I stay booked. I stay booked, and I have repeat students usually. And it's not necessarily that we all share students. So at first I was like, somebody's going to take my kids. I'm not going to have any students. I'm not going to get paid. I'm like, it's not competitive at all. It really isn't, because there's so many students that are trying to sign up, that are trying to get teachers, that usually I stay pretty booked. The only thing I've come across with this one is their holidays are different than our holidays. And so I very easily say booked on like Christmas break. Well, that was because I was home with COVID and worked. So I was home. A lot of people, in America want to take off Christmas break. Understandable. Again, you make your own schedule. So do it. Um, I was at home. I didn't want to go. We had no trip planned. We had nothing. So I was like, hey, might as well make some money. So I signed up for it. Like I said, it took me a little while. They did want me to have an Ethernet cord to my computer, and I did for my mock. And then I bought a booster, and I've been using Wi-Fi ever since. I just didn't tell anybody. So I'm going to exit this. This is from their website. Great pay, flexible hours, easy prep. They provide your lessons, how to prepare your classes, everything like that. They give you tools. They give you rewards. They give you your, things to put in your background if you want to, or you can make your own. That's totally fine. Both, they don't give you a computer. You kind of have to have your own setup at home, which again, you can write off on taxes and stuff too. It's easy. Dollar Tree. GOGO Kid, let's see if it'll go, is 14 to 25 an hour, which is about the same as the VIPkid option, depending on your certifications, and it's all free. My certifications are totally at no cost to me, because the more certifications I get, the more money I make, but also the more the company can charge. So I looked this up online, and roughly, depending on the class and the age of the student and how advanced they are, but roughly on average, so it does vary, the parent would pay $58 an hour in US dollars, and I would make $20 an hour, roughly. There's some classes I make uppers closer to 30. Some no-show classes, I still make the base pay, so I still make 15 an hour. And I only teach, 25-minute classes. So $750 per class to just be here and work on other things while I'm waiting on my students to get here, or prepare for the next class, because I'm here. I get paid to be here regardless, because they're paying it. I still get paid. So if they cancel within 24 hours. So that's kind of cool. If you do a 24-hour short notice class, you get $2 extra per class, so $4 extra an hour on that. If you have more certifications, it bumps you up there. If you train teachers, I think it's like 40 or 50 bucks an hour to train teachers on the VIPkid. So GOGO Kid is a lot like this. It's a different set of characters, but the same idea, the same, like you get a $300, or there was anyway, at the time I'm making this, it was a $300 sign-on bonus just to become a teacher on here. And you do have to show your certification, your licensure and stuff like that. You have to be a licensed U.S. teacher, Canada, U.S., or I want to say Australia, Great Britain, one of the two. So you can't just be an English-speaking teacher. You have to be from the United States. They want United States teachers. They want teachers from the U.S. They want teachers even from Arkansas. That's fine too. And I found it funny that like when I teach on there, I sound different. I don't sound as country. I don't have that slang. Because their English on the website or the teacher portal is proper English. So I speak proper English when I talk. I talk very slow, and I use my hands a lot. I use pictures a lot. I point to my mouth a lot. But It's really cool. They teach you how to do all that. They do all your trainings. They do everything for you, everything. So that's GOGO Kid. It looks like this, kind of what they believe. They, you know, and again, it's catered to Chinese students that are wanting to learn English. And the cool thing is you make those relationships. In my two kids have I'll teach before school, and so it'll be 6:30. They get their backpacks. I wake them up, breakfast, backpacks, and in between my classes, and they come down here and they'll stand beside me, and maybe I have 3 minutes left at the end of class. And one little girl, she's 12. My son is 12. She just turned 13 actually, but at the time she was 12. They're about the same age. Excuse me. They're about the same age, and she said he whispered something, and I said, shh, and she said, who are you talking to? And I said, well, this is my son. We're fixing to go to school. And she said, can I see him? And so I brought him in here. So they've got, they get to meet these kids, and these kids get to meet American kids from, China and China to America. So it's really cool that they get the cultural experience. And I have had students tell me all kinds of things. There is an option on VIPkid, and I think GOGO Kid as well. If your student is in danger, there's an option to contact immediate help and take care of that. Never had that issue before. Hasn't been a problem. The little kids have to have an adult parent or an adult parent, grandparent, somebody beside them to help them, because 25 minutes for a 4-year-old, 25 minutes for a 35-year-old me is a long time to sit still, because I don't sit still very well. So they do have help, and I bathroom breaks, whatever. It's okay. Go ahead and go. It's okay. You just kind of go with it, and it's totally fine. It's been really fun, and I've used it a lot in my parenting child development classes as well, and my child care guidance classes, because they can see and they can hear sometimes, stories and stuff of what I've done and what I got to see. Okay, so let's go to Etsy. I don't know our time. Okay, we're at 6:33. Okay, Etsy. So Etsy, yes, most people know Etsy. You can also share. There's a teacher notebook that reminds me a lot of Etsy. It says, as member of Teacher's Notebook, which is kind of the same thing. You sell teacher material. So I wanted to focus it more on Etsy, though. There's stickers, there's homeschool bundles, there's worksheets, there's reward charts, there's shirts. I have a silhouette cutting machine and a heat press. I had a t-shirt business. I kept it because I used it a lot for school. So as long as, again, I said that, like, as long as you're not breaking copyright, anything, and you're within your ethical standards and your copyright and all your legal stuff, should be totally fine. But Etsy is kind of one of those things that yes, people are like, oh, people make things and they create things and stuff like that. But you can also sell your old stuff you don't use on Etsy as kind of a one-time sale. And that does help a lot, because I have thrown away so much stuff that I know people could use, new teachers could use, or even like my math and stuff, like, people can use that, and I chunked it not thinking about it. And so somebody was talking about networking, and I talked to like brick walls and stuff anyway. So she was like, yeah, I sell on Etsy because there's a big market for teachers on there. And I was like, really? And she was like, yeah, I sell all my old stuff, my worksheets and things that I make. Like, it's totally fine. And I'm like, huh. And she told me how much she made, and it was like something like insane, like an extra like 3-4 grand a month. And I'm like, what? She's like, yeah, some worksheets and whatever. And it is about advertising and getting your name out there, and she had like a Facebook page, and she had an Instagram, and I think she incorporated Snapchat and stuff with it. So time, yes, but if you're sitting at home anyway, go be productive. Like, go do that. All right, so that was Etsy. Baking. So we're going to get to the cooking aspect. So for family and consumer science teachers, there is a lane for us, because people always are like, "Ooh, I bet you can cook." Ooh, I bet. And I'm like, "Ooh, I bet I can eat more than you can, because I cook all day and I want to eat it." So then I have to go work out a whole bunch and then drink a lot of water. But cookies, cakes, pre-made meals, dehydrated food, catering, and parties. I don't know why these are lowercase in some and then uppercase in others. I'll have to go back and fix that. But cookies, cookies are great because cookie dough, sugar cookies, you can get. I have a 3D printer actually that I made some of my custom school cutouts with. The O for Washita, and I have a whole bunch of other things. But cookies, brownies, and cakes. I have silicone cake. Well, let's say they're dishes, not pans, but they're silicone molds. And the kids use them at school, but also like cookies, sugar cookies anyway, and things like that. You can freeze, you can pre-make the dough or batter, whatever you're making, freeze it, and then just pop it out and thaw it, bake it. And sometimes it's even better if it is frozen or cold whenever you bake it. And that is a big seller in bundles and stuff like that, fundraisers and everything. Pre-made meals. I don't know if you do this a lot. I have a vacuum sealer in my class, so to pre-make meals, frozen, sell them. That's another thing. And then dehydrated food. I just recently purchased a dehydrator at home, and I have been making dehydrated apples. I'll season them, get everything ready, dehydrate them for apple pies, and sell them in a little. I dehydrate them, and then I vacuum seal them. And literally, the pie crust is just like an add water, put the mix on the outside, X amount of this. Da, 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 da. Here's the instructions. Mix up the pie dough, put it in there, put the apples in, soak them in water, throw them in the pie crust, bake it, done. And it's a whole little kit, and you mark it up 3, 4, 5 times or more, whatever the recipe is. But especially old family recipes and stuff, you can make a pretty good amount on that working from home. You're not dealing with a lot of people necessarily. You don't really have to go out door to door. It's a Facebook thing, Facebook Marketplace, and works pretty great. So you can also sell to restaurants and like local businesses and things, and make bundles for people, little gift bags, super cute, super cheap. Buy it in bulk, dehydrate all of it, vacuum seal it, keeps for a long time. You can't go wrong with that. And people buy that up too. So of course, catering and parties and stuff, helping with that. But that is more of a people job. But you can work from home and kind of organizing and stuff from home and on Zoom, and just working with uh, the bride, groom, birthday boy, girl, whoever it is. And people are making pretty good on that. So, and just helping them kind of prepare and organize, not even necessarily doing it, but if you're good at like ordering the logistics of it and things, that's a really good place to be too. Okay, Facebook Marketplace. So, teacher items. There's tons of groups that you can look at as far as new teacher groups and things. Find your area, join a whole bunch of Facebook pages, and kind of watch the comments. People are always asking for things. Do you have this resource? Do you have that resource? And if you do, sell it. Make sure, again, copyright, but um, sell it and make a little bit of money off of that. Another thing is being a mentor. And so you could use OutSchool for this as far as mentoring new teachers and working with them. Students that are fresh out of college that are looking for jobs, or even like how to get their foot in the door in a school. Parents, grandparents are really willing to pay for a mentoring session or a few sessions, and help their child, grandchild, whoever it is, kind of get in to a school. And you can do some mock interviews with that and use your experience to help the new teachers coming out. Classroom clean out, kind of talked about that. Facebook Marketplace is a really good place for that as well. And tutoring. On the classroom clean out and teacher items, there's a bunch of groups that are Amazon codes, Amazon discounts, stuff like that. So you can order things for 80, 90% off. If you're good at keeping up with that, turning around and selling it, you can sell these to new teachers. It's still a discount, but you can make kind of a portion back on it if you're good with that. I'm not good with keeping up with stuff like that because I always open it when it comes in. I'm like, ooh, Christmas. And it's just like paper and plastic and boxes go everywhere, and it stays in my house. And that's why I have to have yard sales, because I keep everything and order way too much stuff. All right, let's see. Where are we at? Okay, let me stop the share screen, and let me think of any questions and stuff. Um, I can't think of many other than just kind of watching copyright and making sure you're within your contract and any policies at your school. You're not overstepping boundaries. Maybe I can't think of anything, but I mean, some of these I was really kind of careful to make sure it's not. Obviously, you're not going to be if you do, virtual teaching. It's not at the same time that you're in your classroom, obviously, but these things you can do either after school, weekends, or like I do before school, because I leave straight from the house. The kids are ready, and they're pretty good about getting to that routine of things too. As far as leaving and getting up and getting ready, we put our clothes out the night before. So use whatever you're passionate about, and hopefully this will help a little bit, especially that out school. Like I said, there's been dance instructors, cheer instructors, doctors get on there, florists get on there for flower arrangement, how to do flower arrangements, wedding planners, event planners, teachers. It's not necessarily you have to be a teacher or be in any education at all whatsoever. It's just what background do you have? What are you good at? What are you passionate about that you're going to know the most about, and run with it and share that knowledge and share your wisdom and share your background. So if you're looking for a place, I think my favorite probably would be out school, because you have the freedom to do just about anything you want to do, anything at all. And you can make it game related. You can make it web quest. You can make it a scavenger hunt. You can make it repetitive. You can make it a one time thing. You can make it, hockey, how to play basketball. You can take in your computer on vacation with you. You can take your computer on vacation for VIPkid teaching ESL online. Things you can do and still have freedom to live and go do and have kids and have your family. And so it is kind of your cake and eat it too, because you get to do a little bit of everything that you like. So I hope this is somewhat of a relief, at least financially for you. I hope that maybe it has opened a few doors. My email is, we'll use my handy dandy marker board. Heather, you know what? It's a really big email. Heather.Fulmer, Fulmer, at Washita sd.org. So OUACHITASD school district.org. Heather.Fulmer at WashitaSD.org. Or flip it around. You can find me at Heather Fulmer on Facebook. I do not have a classroom page because I am not friends with my students. They are not my friends. They are my students. And that's the way I like it. I'm not going to say right or wrong on that. I just don't want to see them anymore, because my home life is my home life. And I've had people show up at my door. Kids and parents, but just to say hi. Cool. It's real weird because my hair was in a towel and I was ready for bed. I was like, you need to go away. So I didn't say that though. I was like, hey, what are you doing? Go away. Anyway, so Heather Fulmer on Facebook. I think it's Heather Fulmer 5 on Facebook. I don't know why it's 5. I guess I'm number 5, Heather Fulmer. Anyway, and I'll be glad to answer any other questions, or if you have any ideas, you want to get them organized, we can throw some stuff around and just kind of brainstorm a little bit and see. And I'm totally up for Facebook Messenger if you want a video chat or whatever on there, or Zoom. We can talk on Zoom. Totally down for whatever. Pretty informal as it is. So anyway, I hope this helped. And if I can do anything else, please let me know. I hope you have a great summer and I hope you make a lot of money. All right. See y'all soon. Bye-bye.